Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So we're here today for BookList Thursday. I'm recording a little later than normal, so lighting is not the greatest. It feels a little dark to me, but we're just gonna roll with it today and make the best of it, right? So today's subject for BookList Thursday, and BookList Thursday is something I do with my friend Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book, thoughts, ideas, recommendations, something bookish related. That we want to share with you. So today is a really fun subject, and we are going to talk about books we want to reread. So I'm not a huge rereader. It takes something pretty special to make me even want to reread a book. And here we have our weekly cameo of Stormy. It's like he knows. He was all the way upstairs. All the way upstairs. It's like he knows that I am talking to you guys, and he just needs to make sure you know he's around. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm not a huge rereader. It takes a really special book to make me want to pick it up again. So I can really only think of 2 books I've ever reread. Nope, 3 books. Nope, 2 books. Harry Potter and To Kill a Mockingbird. And we're in the middle of the second Harry Potter, so I'm rereading those with the kids. But as I was going through my bookshelf clean out, kind of preparing to move, and I literally picked up every single book, I found myself wanting to reread a few of them. So I'm really excited for today's prompt. I have actually 6 books here that I would love to be able to reread. Oh, and I found another book that I reread, and it's right here because I want to reread it again. Anyways, let's get started. So the first one on my list is the Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. Yes. I read this eons ago. I'm talking like easily 15 years ago, probably, if not more. It's been quite a while. To the point where all I remember about it is it takes place in the Congo, and it's about a family who are they missionaries? Yeah, they're on a mission, and that's all I remember. Other than I really did enjoy the book. But it would be interesting to see how if my perspective changes, if my thoughts change around this, being where I am now compared to where I was 15 years ago when I read it. So book number 1 I want to reread. Another book I would want to reread is Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. I've read this at least twice. I always tell myself every Christmas I want to pick it up. It follows the story of the Cranks and the year that they want to skip Christmas. Like I said, I picked it up a couple of times. This is the movie Christmas with the Cranks. It's based on this book. It's just a fun holiday, get you in the mood kind of a book that I really, really enjoy. So I would love to pick this one up again. It's been a few years since I've read that around Christmas. The next book I want to reread is because I listened to this on audio, and it was by far one of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to. But I wonder how it would be reading the book, and that is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Now, the audiobook is narrated by Will Wheaton, and he does a phenomenal job. Highly, highly, highly recommend. But I'm just wondering if my experience would be any different by reading the book. It's a thought. So that's on the list. The other ones I have, let's see, we'll start with this one. Orphan Train by Christina Baker Klein. Again, I wouldn't mind rereading just out of, I don't know, I just love this book so much. This book, as well as Jodi Picoult's The Storyteller, these are probably one of my the top 2 favorite historical fictions that I have. So just knowing it's the genre I love, more specifically the genre I love with World War II historical fiction, would I still love it as much? So I'd love to pick it back up. Orphan Train is short and sweet. It's literally about the actual orphan train that came from the East Coast carrying families throughout the Midwest, carrying orphans to be adopted by various families. And so we follow Vivian throughout the book. There is a little bit of dual timeline here, but it's just a really good story. So I would like to reread that one. And of course, one of my favorite Jodi Picoult books of all time, The Storyteller. Just would love to revisit this. It's been a long time since I've read this book. A long time. And then the final one I want to reread is pretty much because I started reading it, or I started reading the series, and I haven't touched it in a while. And so I should probably reread the first one before I go on. I have the rest of the books. I don't know what my problem is. I haven't gone on. But it's Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I feel that with some series, I think I can continue, I can keep going without visiting them again, but Caraval is so, and I don't want to use complicated, it's so magical, and there's so many layers, and there's so many like questions of, is this part of the game, is this not part of the game? And if you don't know much about Caraval, we follow Scarlett, who has been wanting to go to Caraval for her entire life. And Caraval is a magical carnival that travels, and when it comes to your area, if you have a ticket, you have to have a ticket to go. You can either be part of the game or you can be an observer. So she finally gets a ticket to go, she ends up there, and then there's questions all over the place. Is she playing the game? Is she not? There's a lot of things that happen, so I feel that I really need to reread this before I continue on in the series. There's 2 more books that follow this one. One of them I think is even sitting right next to me. So there's Legendary is the second book, and then Finale is the last one. So I don't think I could go to Legendary without rereading Caraval. So that's my last one. But there's 6 books that I would really be interested in rereading, even though I'm not a huge rereader, which then I question myself why I keep books, but I don't know, that's a whole discussion for a whole other day. But these are definitely ones I want to reread. I would say if I had to pick this for sure, I'm going to reread at Christmas, and I would say this would be the next one I picked up, just out of curiosity's sake, just to see if I still liked it. So leave me comments down below. Let me know, are you a rereader? What does it take to get you to reread a book? Let's chat about that. And then head on over to Sarah's channel over at Sarah's Nightstand. I'll leave a link below, and see what books she has on her list that she would like to reread. Otherwise, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.